Hello, fifth graders. So today we're going to continue with our topic of volume. And today's lesson is combining volumes of prisms. Okay, so basically today what we're going to be doing is we are not going to be giving a regular rectangular prism like this. It's not going to be a regular shape. It's going to be a combination of two rectangular prisms. And what we need to do is break it in half and find the volume of each. And we're going to get into that later. But first, I want to review with you guys. What is the formula for volume? So V equals length times width times height. That is one of the formulas for volume. The other formula is area of base times height. And both of those will get you the exact same answer. Now, another thing that I wanted to go over is what unit is volume always in? Okay, we're multiplying 3 dimensions. So volume is always in cubic units. So, and again, if we know what that unit is, cubic yards, cubic feet, cubic inches, etc. Okay, so if you know how to find the volume of a rectangular prism, you can find the volume of the figure down below by breaking it into 2 different rectangular prisms. So you see here that they drew a dotted line right here. Okay, and they broke it into 2 rectangular prisms. They have shape A and shape B. It's really important that you label each figure so it's easy to tell what you're multiplying. Okay, so figure A, and again, you need a length, a width, and a height for each of these dimensions. So the length, remember, the length is always the diagonal, the width is always the horizontal, and the height is always the vertical. Okay, so let's look at A. I see this height is 12, so 12 is the height. I see this diagonal is 3, so 3 is the length, and then how wide it is 4. Now, why wouldn't I use this 6 as my width? That is also a horizontal, but why wouldn't I use this 6? Well, that 6 is the whole entire thing, and this shape stops right here. So we wouldn't use 6, we would use 4, because that's how wide it is. So we have the length, the width, and the height for figure A. So what we can do is we can multiply all of those. Okay, so 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 12 is 144 cubic feet because we're multiplying 3 dimensions. Now we want to look at figure B. Okay, figure B, they have this arrow pointing at this horizontal. That's how wide it is. Okay, so we have a length, we have a width, and we have a height. The width is 2. The height of this I can see is 3 or 5, I'm sorry. And the length is 3. Now, you may seem a little silly to be like, Ms. Rothstein, why are you looking at directions? Why are you looking at having a diagonal, a horizontal, and a vertical? It's because when we get into more advanced shapes, there will be 2 horizontals, and you'll have to decide, which one am I using? Or sometimes people will take the height twice by accident, okay? So you always want 3 different types of dimensions. So now we can multiply these. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 5 is 30 cubic feet. So we found the volume of A. We found the volume of B. Now to find the total volume of that figure, we add them together. So 144 plus 30 cubic feet would be 174 cubic feet. And that is the volume of this figure right here. All right. So again, it's really important that you look closely at those dimensions. So let's look at another example. Okay. Now, right here on the side, I have letters and I have little lines. Because if we break up this shape, if you look at this other example, they broke it up this way. But you could, if you wanted to, make it thicker. You could have broken it up this way instead and had a bottom rectangular prism and a top rectangular prism. So that's why I give you 2 lines, because it depends. You can break it up a specific way. It doesn't have to be the same way that I do. Okay? So look at your shape. Okay? Use one of these to break up your shape into 2 different figures. All right, so you could have either done this and had a back figure and a front figure, or you could have done this and had a bottom and a top. Either one is correct. For this instance, I'm going to do this one instead because I like having like a back and a front. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag over. This is going to be figure A, and this is going to be figure B. So A and B are right next to each other. All right, so let's begin. Figure A, again, I want a length, a width, and a height. So I want a diagonal, a horizontal, and a vertical. Okay, so for A, I see right away the height right there, how tall it is 7. So it would be 7 there. The width, or how wide it is 4. And then the length, or the diagonal, is 2. Okay, so what you can do with those, you don't want to use this 5 because the 5 only takes up to there. Okay, and that's not the whole height. So now we can multiply. 4 times 2, okay, is 8. 8 times 7 is 56 cubic, and the unit is centimeters, so cubic centimeters. Figure B, again, we want a length, a width, and a height. And I just want to go over really quick. I'm saying that the length is diagonal. If you want to say the length is horizontal and the width is diagonal, that is fine as long as you have one from each dimension. Okay, so the length for this, I have 2 options. I have a 6 or I have a 4. Which one am I going to use for the length of B? I'm going to use the 4 because this is how wide B is, or how long B is. We don't want to go the whole thing. Okay, so 4 would be the length. The height, I see right here, is 2. And the length, oh, sorry, I put that in the wrong spot. The height is 2. And the width, or how wide it is 4. Okay, so we have 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32 cubic centimeters. Okay, so if we add those 2 things together, we get 6 plus 2 is 8. 5 plus 3 is 8 as well. It's 88 cubic centimeters. Okay, now that is it if we split it up that way. Now let's see really quick. If I scratch that off and I split it up this way, so it's almost like we have a bottom figure and a top figure, your dimensions would be a little bit different. The dimensions for A and B would be 2, 4, and 6. And for A, it would be 2, 4, and 5. But if you broke it up that way, you would still get the same exact answer. So let's look at the next one. Again, you can break it up. I give you 2 options. You can break it up either way. You can break it up like this, or you can break it up like that. Okay? What I'll do for this scenario, let's break it up like this. So it's one figure right next to the other figure. So again, we need a length, a width, and a height. 3 different dimensions. So I'm going to call this A, and I'll call this B. Okay? So A is going to be 7 is the length, 5 is the width, and 8 is the height. And then figure B, again, you need a length, a width, and a height. Okay? For B, the height I can see is 2. The width, or how wide it is 7. Oh, not sorry. The width the width, or the length, how long it is 7. And that makes sense because if that's 7, that is 7 too. And how wide it is, now this is something a little different. Are we going to use 15 or are we going to use 10? Those are both horizontals. Well, figure B is not this whole entire thing. Figure B is just this. So it would be 10. Okay, so we can find the volume of each one individually. So 7 times 5 times 8 is 280 cubic, and we're in inches, so cubic inches. 7 times 10 times 2, which is 70 times 2, which is 140 cubic inches. So to find the total volume, we can add them two together to get 420 cubic inches. And again, you can write it as inches cubed like that, but you guys can't make exponents easily on these Google slides. So that's why I'm saying you to write cubic inches like that. All right. So again, make sure when you're doing these guys to take your time. You always need 3 different dimensions. So what I want you guys to do independently for your homework, I want you to split up these 2 figures that you see right here into an A and a B. Again, I gave you 2 options. Okay, you can split it up either way. Now, this one right here, how you can split that up, because it's a little tricky to see. You could either split it up this way, or you could split it up this way. Okay, either one. So I'll do that one more time. You could split it up this way, like that, or you could split it up that way. Okay, because that's on a diagonal. It's kind of tricky to see. But I want you to give these a try. All right, so give those a try. Doesn't matter which way you split it, and then label figure A and figure B. Find the volume of each one, and then add it together at the end and see what you get. All right, so give that a go for homework. If you do have any questions, please let me know. And I hope you have a wonderful day, 5th grade. Bye.